Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari and today I'm going to talk about Lord of the Flies. This is a video review about the book Lord of the Flies. Check the description below in case you want to know specific things about it. I will divide this video in sections on different topics that I will mention. There will be some sections with spoilers, so be aware of that in case you haven't read the book. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. I upload videos about movies, TV shows and books. And now let's start with the review. Lord of the Flies is a novel written by William Golding, and it was published in 1954. The story is about a group of schoolboys that are stranded on an island after their plane crashes, and they have to establish a kind of society in order to survive and hope to be rescued. I have to say that this book was difficult to get into at first. The story is great, but the pacing sometimes is a little slow, although the names of the chapters are amazing. Some of the descriptions and the language are a little bit complicated, especially if you are not an English native speaker. English is not my first language, so reading it in English was hard sometimes. But the events of the book are very impactful and it is worth reading, so I recommend it a lot. The experience as a whole, the ending of the book really changed my perspective and made me see it as it is, a true classic and a reference to modern creations that are just as great. This novel presents many allegories about society and power play, and explores topics like human behavior, morality, paranoia, and chaos. The story starts in this point where you can see how it's going to develop, but instead of going the conventional way, it is more introspective and deep and scary at times. Not horror scary, scary because of the situation and how the characters are changing. The book is often described as an example of the decay of society, and I just think that's very fitting. And something that really helps to that description being true is the characters. Because we have characters that resemble the true nature of humanity in these hostile situations. And it's good to analyze if these kind of things would actually happen. Now the next section is going to have a few spoilers. If you don't want to know anything, this is the last section that you want to watch. We have four main characters: Ralph, Jack, Piggy, and Simon, and each has major symbolisms in their personalities. Ralph represents the civility and democracy of the society. Jack represents anarchy and dictatorship. Piggy represents logic and rationalism. He's always talking like if he was an adult. And Simon represents the truth and the goodness. The story really goes deep into the society dynamic between Jack and Ralph. Jack becomes more savage, and in that way he becomes a dictator, to the point that the children are basically forced to join his tribe, because now the situation is join the tribe or suffer the consequences. And Ralph's journey from being chief, chosen by the people to guide them, to being completely alone and being hunted by all the group of kids, is just, I have no words to describe how I feel about that storyline. It is very interesting but very sad to read. I just feel like the whole dynamic between Jack and Ralph is very well done. How they both take different sides of the same situation, how they see the threats that they have and also the chances of rescue. Their priorities were very, very different, and I think, in my opinion, that's what adds a lot to the story. The paranoia about the beast starts from the very beginning of the story, and it is developed very well. Because we go from not believing that there's a beast, to trying to hunt it, then actually being afraid of it, to even offering sacrifices for it. That escalated too much. Simon is the one who has those revelations about the Lord of the Flies, which I think is a very fitting title for this whole story. He understands who the real monster is. He also discovers the truth about the beast that they actually have seen, and he sees that it's not actually a beast. And the sad part is that he discovers all of this only to die in the most savage way. It's a hard topic to discuss, but I think the novel does it in a great way. The symbolism of the beast being within the people, not being an actual thing that you can hunt or offer sacrifices to, but it is within yourself. I think that works perfect with this setting, and it is what gives this book its name and its relevance for literature. The harsh ending is what really made me love this book. The situation was pure madness. I couldn't stop reading the last chapter. Ralph was being hunted for no reason just because they are savages now, because they have to listen to Jack. As I told you, that escalated a lot. Ralph had literally no choice and nowhere to go. And then the rescue happens, but at what cost? Now that you have seen everything that happened in the novel, everything that happened with them, I mean, I have no words. The children became savages, and Piggy was always the only one wondering what would the grown-ups think, but no one else cared. And at this point of the novel is when you wonder, oh my God, what are the grown-ups going to think? And that's what the kids are wondering too, and they start crying. And I think it's very poetic in a way, but very sad, heartbreaking. And it makes you think, like, what would happen if they would have just stayed in a nice civilization and society with control and order? They would eventually get rescued, and none of the bad and savage things could have happened. Like, it's just mind-blowing. This book is important and relevant. I understand really why this book is required reading, because it is influential, and I think the message is still essential for us as a society. It has inspired a lot of other creations, that being TV shows, movies, other books. Just because I want to give you other recommendations on what to watch, I think these two TV shows are great examples of what would happen to society if you're stranded on a place you don't know anything of, how to survive, how to create a new society, the power play and everything. I would recommend Lost and Yellow Jackets, because they are both interesting and disturbing in their own way, and I think they both took inspiration from Lord of the Flies. Please let me know if you have read this book, if you enjoyed it, if not. Everything you want to say about this book, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I have a lot more book reviews on my channel and TV reviews, TV recommendations, so please don't forget to subscribe. You can do it here and you'll get more videos about movies, TV shows, and books. Here on the screen you have more videos that you might enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I hope to see you in the next one.